week, we talked about Jesus washing the disciples' feet during the Last Supper, or the Passover, that special meal that they all ate together. And it was the Last Supper because Jesus was going to die the next day. He was going to be arrested and he was going to die. But while they were eating this meal, there were some things that happened. And today we are going to seek and find those things. So we're going to put a picture up behind me, and actually I'll probably disappear. And you guys are going to have 10 seconds to find the hidden object in the picture, and then we'll talk about it. So let's go ahead and get started. While Jesus and the disciples were eating, Jesus told the disciples something really troubling. So you have 10 seconds to find the hidden bowl in my picture. Ready? Go. Awesome job. Jesus actually told his disciples that somebody, one of his closest friends, was going to betray him. And when all the disciples were sitting around saying, "Not me, not me, not me," Jesus looked at them and he said, "You know what? It's one of the people who've dipped their hands in the bowl with me." Wow. Think what that would feel like to know that one of your closest friends was going to betray you. Well, when they had finished that conversation, Jesus wanted to remind his disciples, and he wanted to help them to understand the fact that he was about to die and that he was going to pay for all the wrong things that people do. All right, there is another hidden picture, or another hidden object in that picture, and it is a loaf of bread. So I'm going to give you guys 10 seconds to find the loaf of bread. Go. Great job finding that loaf of bread. You see, Jesus took a loaf of bread and he broke off pieces of it and he handed it out to his disciples because he wanted them to understand that he was about to die, to pay for all the wrong things that people do. So he took the bread as kind of a picture of what was going to happen, and he breaks it up and he says, "This is like my body that's going to be broken for you. I want you to go ahead and eat it." And they did. And then Jesus had something else to tell them. So I want you to take a look and find the cup in our picture. Go. Great job finding the cup. Jesus took a cup that was full of wine and he passed it around to all of his disciples, and he said, "I want you to think about this wine like it's my blood that's about to be shed for you. And I want you to take a sip and I want you to remember what I'm doing for you." And so he gave them this kind of picture lesson about what he was going to do. And then he tells them that he wants them to keep doing this after he dies and rises again. He says, keep doing this. And every time you do it, remember what I did for you. Every time you have communion, guys, it is a picture symbol of what Jesus did for us. Now, after they had finished having communion together, Jesus and his disciples did something else. So I want you to look at the screen and I want you to find the music note that's hidden in the picture. Go. Jesus and his disciples sang some songs together, and then they headed out to the Garden of Gethsemane. And while they were there, Jesus was going to be betrayed and arrested. But in our story today, Jesus uses a picture to help his disciples remember what he's doing for them. And you know what? I thought it would be kind of fun to play a little game here. So I've got some words that are going to go up on the screen, and I'm going to study those words for 2 minutes and only 2 minutes. And then I'm going to come back and I am going to try to tell you all of those words. You guys can play along if you want to pause the video and study the words and see whether you can remember more of the words at the end than I can. All right, let's do this. Okay, that is actually harder than I thought it was going to be. I had not practiced this. So let me try. Okay, lamp, table, clock, cell, ring, rust, army, baby, swap, desk, office. I really honestly don't remember anymore. Okay, I hope you guys do better than I did, because I did not get very many of those. But here's the deal. Those are words that I see every single day almost when I'm reading. They're words that I know inside and out, but yet I couldn't even remember all of them. And that happens in life. There are times where we don't remember the things that have happened to us. And there are times that we forget the things that Jesus has done for us. That's why he wanted us to take communion, to eat the bread and drink the juice and to remember what he did for us, because he was giving us a picture to help us remember. I can pull out pictures from my last family vacation and I can say, wow, I remember when we did this. It helps me to not forget. And Jesus was giving us a picture. That's one of the ways we can remember what Jesus has done for us. But there are other ways that we can remember it too. We can read our Bibles and then we can journal what he said to us. We can soap, we can journal, we can draw a picture of, oh, I remember what God said to me, or God answers a prayer, and we write down, wow, I prayed about that and God answered it. We can tell someone else the things that God has done in our life. And when we do that, it helps us when we end up in situations in our life that aren't good or are scary or aren't fun. We can go back and we can say, but I remember the time that God provided a friend for me. I remember a time that God healed me. I remember a time that I didn't have money and somebody sent me the money that I needed. I remember that time when I moved and I was so scared to go to my new school. And when I walked in, I ended up with a good teacher. All of those things help us when later on we end up in another situation that isn't good. We can remember God took care of me then, so I can trust him to take care of me now. And when we take communion, we remember God loved me so much that he died and he paid for the wrong things that I do so that I can have a relationship with him, so that I can walk with him every single day, and so that I have him right beside me, helping me through hard times. So this week, spend some time writing down the things that God has done for you, or spend time telling someone all the ways that you have seen God do something for you. I think you would be amazed at the number that you have, and they will come in really handy later on in life. All right, I'll see you next week, EP Kids. Bye.